Hello, I'm Maya Norbury, and welcome to the 2024 Short CPD training webinar. This month, we are going to a deep dive into audit report implications and accounting disclosures where potential issues over going concern have arisen. Firstly, we are going to briefly revisit some fundamentals and ISO 570 for some key reminders. Then jump into 3 case studies of examples of potential issues regarding going concern, which we've been seeing frequent queries around. This slide summarises the main audit report sections, which have got a lot longer over the years. At this point, I expect you'll be familiar with the changes in the revised ISO 570, which was effective from periods commencing December the 15th, 2019. But as a reminder, a large part of the ISO revision was around the requirement for greater audit challenge of management's assessment of going concern. So here we've got the 3 main going concern outcomes that you will likely see. So starting on the left, we've got the most common one. We'll probably call this the standard going concern audit report wording, where the basis of preparation is appropriate and there's no material uncertainty casting significant doubts. So as you can see, the outcome of that is we've got our unmodified opinion and we include a conclusions relating to going concern section in our audit report. For the second example, the basis of going concern is still appropriate, but a material uncertainty exists which is adequately disclosed. And we'll look at an example of that later in this session. So the output of that is you have an unmodified opinion, but you include a material uncertainty related to going concern section in your audit report. In this last one, potentially less common to see, but still we do see it, is a basis other than going concern is appropriate, but it has been adequately disclosed. So the accounts have been prepared on a non-going concern basis. So we've got an unmodified opinion because we are agreeing with the basis of preparation. However, we take out those paragraphs with the conclusions related to going concern and we include an emphasis of matter paragraph in its place. So let's have a look at these in some context. Let's have a look at some scenarios. So first up, we've got Academy A. Academy A is an audit client of your firm with a 31st of August 2024 year end. A transfer agreement has been signed on the 1st of September 2024 and Academy A will cease its operations and all its assets, liabilities and operations will be transferred to Multi Academy Trust B for nil consideration. So effectively, we've got a single Academy Trust going into a multi Academy Trust. So just think for a moment, what disclosures should be made in the financial statements for the year ended 31st of August 2024 and what you'd expect your audit opinion should state in relation to going concern. So first of all, let's have a look at the financial statements disclosure. There's 3 main things we want to think about. So within the financial statement, so we've got our basis of preparation and whether that's appropriate. We want to think about whether a post-balance sheet event is required to really draw out the attention to the reader. And we want to make sure that the basis of preparation is clear as well within the trustees report. So the front half, the wordy report, we want to make sure that whatever the basis of preparation is decided is very clear within that front half of the accounts. So in this example, in the basis of preparation, we've said that the trustees assess whether the use of going concern is appropriate and whether there are any material uncertainties related to events or conditions that may cast significant doubt on the ability of the charitable company to continue as a going concern. Single Academy Trust A transferred its trade, assets and liabilities to Multi Academy Trust B on 1st of September 2024. Following the completion of the transfer, the trustees intend to dissolve the company. For this reason, the financial statements have been prepared on a basis other than going concern. So in this scenario, we're saying it's not a going concern, and we've alluded to that fact within the accounting policies. So how does that look in our audit report? So within the audit report, we're saying it's a non-going concern. within the financial statements, we've said it's an ongoing concern, and within our audit report, we are going to agree with that because it will not continue as an academy in its own right. So we've included an emphasis of matter paragraph because remember, when it's a non-going concern, we take that conclusions related to going concern out and we include an emphasis of matter paragraph. So we've got here, as described in note 1, which was that accounting policies, the trustees have prepared the financial statements on a basis other than going concern. The Academy Trust will cease operating on 1st of September 2024 and all its assets, liabilities and operation will be transferred to Multi-Academy Trust B for nil consideration. Following the transfer, it is the intention of the trustees to dissolve the Academy Trust. Informing our opinion on the financial statements, which is not qualified, we have considered the adequacy of the disclosure made in note 1 of the financial statements. We have nothing further to report in this regard. Our responsibilities and the responsibilities of the trustees with respect to going concern are described in the relevant sections of this audit report. So in this example, that's that third, if you remember back to our 3 going concern that audit report implications, which we expect to see, it's that third one on the right, where it's not a going concern. However, as an auditor, we are agreeing with that preparation. So let's have a look at some other examples. So let's have a look at some more scenarios. Okay. So the first one, which we've been seeing quite frequently really in terms of queries, is a defined benefit pension scheme we audit is discussing a buyout and has received an initial quotation from the actuary. So the main thing to consider here is what position you are at the date of signing those financial statements. So the date the trustees are signing and the date the audit report is being signed. It almost doesn't matter what was happening at year end other than any disclosures you may see in the financial statements. So if you are in the position where the trustees have got, it's within the trustee meeting minutes post year end, and they've got an initial quotation. So at that point, there is no formal decision made and there is no guarantee that a buyout will occur in the next 12 months because it can be quite a long process from that initial quotation to the final position. So in that circumstance, where at the date of the audit report signing, all that's happened is a bit of an initial quotation, nothing's been signed. We then prepare those accounts on a going concern basis and there is no material uncertainty. So we just have our conclusions related to going concern paragraph. We may include some reference within the trustees report that they're considering a buyout, and we may include a post-balance sheet event to say that there is talks considering, but they're not expected within the next 12 months. But that's the discretion of the auditor and the trustees. If, however, it was signed at the date of the audit report signing, so if the buyout decision was signed at the date of the audit report signing, then you would end up in an instance where it may not be a going concern anymore, or you have a material uncertainty paragraph, depending on how long it's expected to take in terms of the buyout happening. In this next example, our RSL client has signed an agreement to transfer ownership of all its housing stock to the local council, at which point the company will be wound up. So if we're in this situation where a wind up is happening and there's only one stream of income, they only have rental income, we would be in the situation where it's at that third example, it's not a going concern. We'll assume that the basis of preparation is an ongoing concern and therefore we'd have an emphasis matter paragraph. If, however, that housing association has other streams of income, so maybe they have some shared ownership properties, maybe they have some related sort of charitable other income, then it may be, therefore, that they are going to continue as a going concern. However, there is some sort of material uncertainty that arises because that situation going forward is different and they're not acting in the same way in terms of bringing that rental income in. So let's have a look at the implications if we're saying the housing association is continuing, however, a material uncertainty arises. So in this scenario, we draw attention to note 2A in the financial statements, which will be the accounting policies, which explains that the association will be transferring all its social housing properties to the local council. As stated in note 2A, these events and conditions indicate that a material uncertainty exists, which may cast significant doubt on the association's ability to continue as a going concern. Our opinion is not modified in this respect. So, as I've said, that's that sort of second in the three scenarios. That's the second one, and it's on the basis that it will continue as a going concern. However, because of the change in circumstances of the housing association's income streams, there is a material uncertainty that has arisen. So, before we finish off, there is some really helpful additional resource if you're an ICAW member, or anyone in your firm is. They have really helpful technical help sheets that you can access around the flow path of where, depending on the circumstances, where you'd expect that opinion to end up. And also there's some really helpful wording on there as well that you can use as a basis of your audit report preparation. If you need to contact us, our details are on there. And on our website, we currently have our published list of 2025 public CPD courses. So if you're interested on any of those, you can see our booking form online. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you.